still there? To delete this message, press 7. To save it in the archives, press 9. To hear more options, press 0.
What are you talking about?
So today is a day of errands in this rainy, yucky South Carolina weather. Yeah, good vibes today.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can manifest a better job. It's just not working. So I'm trying to see if I can land myself a better job. A little bit harder work, a lot of harder work. I've given myself a goal to where I want to be in the next 5 months. And within the next 5 months, I want to be inside of Landdolph. I want to be in Landdolph and I want to be gone. And in order to do that, I need to work hard now so I can enjoy it later.
Yeah. And if anything, always remember, things are temporary.
Everything's temporary.
Well, just working for the future.
Except for you, though.
Girl, you know. Bugman. It's a Bugman. A Bugman.
Bugman.
Vile, but also I can't look away.
Do it, do it!
Weird flex, but okay.
Yeah, weird like that.
Weird flex, but okay!
Hey. Yeah? It's juice. Disengaging will be your action, that's how you would take it. Yeah. The only, and depending on what it is, it'll have a different engagement range. This guy's just melee. So his engagement range is 5.
Another Snorlax, huh? How did this dude lick the entire bowl of dip? This was full of dip. This is empty.
Yeet!
There's nothing left. How did you do this?
I was hungry.
How did you do this?
With my mouth.
Sky, what'd that mouth do?
So we should probably do that Q&A video, huh? Yeah, let's do that.
You know why I don't sleep on the side of the bed, right?
Why?
That hallway.
You don't like looking down the hallway?
Because ghosts.
Seriously?
Yeah. Ghosts? You never heard of ghosts?
Yeah. What up, though? I'm Skizzle.
I'm Cassie.
And we have been holding off this Q&A because of work and life and stuff. But we're gonna do that now.
Yeah, we wanted to show you guys a little bit of our day-to-day life. Not so much day-to-day, but just like a mesh of the past couple of weeks for us. Not much has happened, not much has been going on with Landdolph, unfortunately, because I know it feels like an excuse at this point, but the weather in South Carolina has been awful.
It's been cold, bro.
Yeah, cold and raining. There's snow coming this weekend. It's just, everything is against us with working outside on this van.
I don't do well in the cold. I'm a small person.
Yeah, we actually collected a couple of the questions you guys sent us on YouTube, on our Insta. A couple of you guys DM'd us some questions.
Bro, how are you gonna do this? So, without further ado, here we go.
First question.
Question number one.
How did you guys meet? So we're gonna do like the PG-13 version.
Yeah.
Basically, when I was growing up in New York City, I had this good friend of mine that I was in Manhattan with, and someone approached us to be model scouts. Like what, 7
years ago, coming on
7
8 years now.
Wow. So we got picked up by this model scout that brought us to an apartment down in St. Mark's. Where you at? I did this photo shoot with this random person that I never met before, but it was cool. And when I came back a month later to get those shots,
Yours truly was there.
Scott was actually working with this guy at the time. And so I walked in and I was trying to get like my USB filled with some new like Facebook profile pictures, you know.
Well, the great part about it is that she wasn't there for it. My friend's house. I worked for him, but he was also my friend, and I was staying over that night. And I was in like a dead sleep, and he woke me up, and he was like, "Sky, get up! I have 2 clients coming over, and they're coming to pick up pictures. Clean yourself up." So I'm just like, shit. The clothes came on, and the eyeliner came on, and that was all she wrote.
Our first conversation actually was what I asked you what your favorite type
My
of
favorite cheese. Yep.
Extra sharp cheddar.
Yeah, boy.
And basically, we exchanged numbers. I thought it was cool. Took the long trek from Manhattan to Queens to hang out with me.
Again, let me speak to my native New Yorkers real quick. You guys know how incredibly unreliable the MTA can and will always be. I'm from Washington Heights, uptown Manhattan, and Cassandra here is from Bayside, Queens. I took the A train at 168 all the way down to 42nd Street to transfer to the 7 train all the way to the last stop in Flushing, Queens, only to wait for a bus. What was it? The
Q13. It was Q13, Q12 if you were lucky, because that was express.
They only want glazed respect.
Yep, Q12.
Then to take the Q12 or the Q13 or whatever bus it was to the last stop. So from my house to Cassie's house, it was like, well, if the bus was nice, 3 hours.
Yeah. So we just started talking and hanging out and everything. We didn't really have much going on, like, back in New York. Like, we didn't feel like we could really keep progressing there. We kind of looked at each other one day and went, let's just start moving together everywhere.
Let's just leave New York with no plans.
We'll find home eventually. Here we are.
That's how we met.
The next question actually was a really interesting one. Question number 2.
Question numero 2.
What is going to be the hardest thing to give up when we relocate to the van, and what will be the easiest? I'm gonna let you cover the hardest.
Alright, so what's gonna be the easiest?
I think that the easiest thing, I see what you did there. I think the easiest thing to give up, obviously the first thing everybody assumes I will say is rent. Being restricted to paying rent is something that literally I want to say like what 90% of us are dealing with. I've always been a slave to it. From a very young age.
I moved out as a teenager as well, so shit. Shout outs to all the couches.
Yeah, we both have experienced living on our own from quite young ages, so it would be kind of liberating to have your, basically the only big bill you have being car insurance.
Yeah, pretty much. Car insurance and gas. Car insurance is gas is a lot less than rent.
So monetarily, that would definitely be my answer for the easiest, but emotionally, the easiest thing to give up is feeling restricted. Feeling like you are constantly being paid for your life, for your time, to go to a job that you may not necessarily love, spend time smiling and talking to strangers that you don't necessarily want to talk to, steaming milk that you don't necessarily want to steam.
Fixing computers that you necessarily don't want to fix.
But that was a very big thing for me, where basically you can be in control of your own life and your own time. You wake up late, you watch the sunrise, you sit there until you watch the sunset. Screw it, who's gonna tell you otherwise?
The wise man once told me, and I don't know if the wise man was Facebook or my friend Jerry, if you don't build your own dream, someone else is gonna hire you to help build theirs. And I'm not for sale. So like, the hardest thing for me to give up, honestly, it's like incredibly superficial. I don't have any real attachment like issues to anything that we own. I can easily let go of things that I can acquire, except for you. Actually, the hardest thing for me is gonna be my escape, which is video games. I love video games. I have a whole rig set up. I've dumped a lot of time and money into building my own computer. I look at video games as an escape for me. Whenever things are like looking really down, or whenever I feel like I wanna kind of just like shut the rest of the world out, I usually just fall into video games.
The World of Warcraft. It's a lot less expensive than therapy.
That's gonna be my hardest thing. Anything else is all, it's irrelevant to me.
So, third question actually.
Pregunta número 3.
What are you gonna do with all your stuff? Sell it, or are you gonna store it? And it's funny to me because I didn't even think of storing anything.
Yeah, me neither.
You guys saw in our loft tour, we have collected a lot of memorabilia, toys, unnecessary objects, pop dolls,
plushies.
I've already made a dent in it. I have started selling stuff locally.
You have.
All my plushies are gone.
Dude, she had a pit boy. Y'all played Fallout. You know Fallout has a pit boy. She had a pit boy that you could put your phone into and all that crazy ish.
But it went to a loving home with a couple that I actually sold to our cosplayers, so they were really excited to have it.
That was literally the best thing that could have happened.
And now we're actually going to make a Depop. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. It's kind of like a thrifty like app that basically
it's like, let's go for us.
Yeah, like Instagram for selling your stuff. Basically, when we actually put some stuff up on there, I will link it and post it on here. So it would be so cool to get to know the people that actually take some of our stuff, because we are not planning on storing anything.
We're not gonna store anything.
We're not storing anything.
No.
All of our furniture is gonna be gifted to friends.
Everything's gonna either be sold or given away.
Question numero quattro.
Hey, she learning.
Is, do you now realize that your pets are going to be the stars of the show? We knew this from the beginning. You guys aren't interested in us at all. It's just this guy right here.
It's just, I would get the other babies, but they are dead asleep right now.
Riku, our cat here, is literally our entire lives. We got him, I think 5 years ago. We actually had a kitten before him that tragically passed away at a very young age. But we kind of wanted to fill that hole, so we found Riku.
Rest in peace, Engine.
Rest in peace, Engine. And he's been a part of our family ever since. He is literally the best cat that anyone could ever ask for.
He doesn't know his tongue is sandpaper.
He just acts like a dog. He just lays around, barks at us.
Oh.
He also weighs like 25 pounds. So
he's a big boy.
He's doing his best. Our ferrets, actually, those are somewhat new additions. We got them about 3
years ago.
3 years ago. Those guys were, for lack of a better term, an impulse buy.
I had a dream one day that we had ferrets, and we went to the nearest pet store and got ferrets. Funny enough, when we got them, Dominique was completely deaf, and she was also very young. So deaf, young, ferret with teeth. She was a bit of a troubled case, but we also looked into what happens when you return ferrets that have any sort of disability or issue with them. And I'm not gonna divulge into that, but the internet got us all sorts of up. We weren't gonna return her because we were afraid that they weren't gonna do the right thing, so we kept her.
I firmly believe that as soon as you get that receipt, that pet didn't decide to live with you. You decided that that pet was gonna live with you. They had no choice in the matter. Deformities, dysfunctions or not,
so
that's your baby.
She was like holding on to my finger, just screeching at me, and I was like, well, welcome to the family.
Which actually leads me to another question that people have. One person said, what kind of cat is Riku, and does he get along with our ferrets? Riku is a Maine Coon mix.
Yeah, he's not a full Maine Coon. It looks like he was a Maine Coon breeded with like a tabby cat.
And we actually went to go get his brother.
Yeah, originally we were gonna go there to pick up Riku's little brother, sweet little kitty, and we went to go pick him up, and He was perfectly fit into my palm, and he fell asleep, and he was so cute. There was a kitten screaming in a little box, and Cassie walked over, and there was Riku, cross-eyed with a big old forehead, screaming, and as soon as she picked him up, he started biting at her and scratching at her, like, put me down.
The owner actually said that someone was supposed to pick him up like hours before.
And they never came to get him.
Never showed up to get him.
We're gonna go there to get another cat, and Riku was just like, me!
He still does have that mentality sometimes, and his playfulness does come out with the ferrets. They get along well. They don't hurt each other. They don't fight or anything, but they do get rough.
The force of those two combined versus him is that they will always win. At the end of the day, it's gonna be Riku jumping up onto the bed, or Riku jumping into our laps, running away from the ferrets that decided to gang up on him.
I lost count. 5.
Pregunta número
5. One big question, actually. What led you guys to wanting to live in a van?
Chelsea Vicari.
Basically, when we first moved into this loft, we actually were looking at the loft next door, and we saw Chelsea Vicari out there on her balcony.
Yeah, she was out there. Yeah, she was out there on her balcony, and she was just hanging out, enjoying the breeze, and her mom was out there.
Chelsea actually went like, yo guys, like this place is nice and all, but next door, you should check that one out.
Yeah, the one next door is a lot bigger, and then we came over here, we're like, the one next door is a lot bigger.
Long story short, we got this one, and she was our neighbor for a point in time, on and off because she does travel.
Actually, I believe once this video uploads, she will be in Dallas, Texas. Enjoy the melting mailboxes, girl.
We had a lot of talks with Chelsea about purpose of like life and stuff like that. A lot of deep conversations about like why she decided to travel, and a little bit about us, about like how we felt like so like not homesick, but just sick of not having home. It was a very complicated situation for us, and she was the first person that actually laid it out to us. Instead of looking for a home, make your home something where you can travel and discover things and see like the entire United States, maybe eventually the world. She opened our eyes to travel.
Chelsea pretty much put things in perspective for us. We had this freedom that not a lot of our friends back home have. It's just me and Cass and I, Riku and the ferrets, so really the only ties we had were to ourselves. I just recently turned 28, Cassie's 26, so you know we still got a lot of our youth ahead of us, and there were a lot of things that we wanted to do, and there were a lot of things that we wanted to see, and it didn't quite seem like a possibility, because you know whenever people want to go on vacation, you got to ask your job, you know, months in advance for you to take off, and then the most you could probably take off is 2 weeks. We didn't want to live at the mercy of my employer or of our employers.
Have our time be taken.
I was looking at it in such a way that I wanted my issues to be my own. If I'm stressing out, I want it to be something that I can control. Not so much control, because that's not the right word, but more so I want it to be my problem. If we're on the road and God forbid something happens to Landdolph, that is on me to fix, as opposed to, you know, our landlord. And also the crazy part about it too is that you're literally trading away your life and your time on this earth for currency, you know, to live in a place. And my New Yorkers, I know, like we're paying upwards of $2,000 a month to live in a somewhat decent place. For what? If you add up, dude, if I add up all the money that Cassie and I have paid in rent in the last, what, 6 years, I'd have a Lambo, fam.
All in all, we almost felt stupid. Why have we done this for so long? Like, been on this hamster wheel of like paycheck to paycheck, like security to security. Like our security deposit, even in this place right now, is the same security deposit we had from our apartment 6 years ago. It has just been this cycle of constantly giving people money for shelter, of working hard in jobs that we don't necessarily like to afford this shelter, and it's exhausting, it's depressing. And thankfully we ran into someone like Chelsea that went, hey, this is your life. Gross, right? You should probably change it. And in a beautiful way, she was right. It was also painful to see, because we were like, wow, we've spent all this time not doing basically what was right for us mentally. And it's never too late to start, and that's why we're doing this.
Pregunta número
6. Question number 6 is, why did you decide to buy a van and not an RV or a camper? It's a loaded question, right?
It is. God's honest truth. Campers are expensive, y'all. That's way out of our price range. Way out of our
I'm so
price
glad we're
range.
being honest. Well, one thing I will say though,
It's expensive.
with the amount of money that you put into an RV, like sure you get like this like cookie cutter like little home to live in, but there's something nice about building something for yourself, even if it isn't necessarily the perfect like situation. Like I don't know if you guys have ever seen on YouTube ᵃᵉamaMedicine.
What's up, girl?
Hey,
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday! Or strong. Yeah, they have a van similar to ours, right?
They
It's
have the same
size.
van.
It's the same van.
They have the exact same van
And
that we
dude,
have.
they built that whole thing from the inside out, bed, storage. Like, that was also a big motivation to us. It was like, they didn't just buy their house like on Amazon.
No.
They built it.
Nah, they trekked it to Jersey. God bless you too. They trekked it to Jersey and bought a van and drove that bit to Georgia. Respect. When we were just like first thinking about doing the whole van life thing, we were talking to Chelsea a lot, and we were kind of like, we were teetering back and forth. We were in it, we were out of it, we were in it, and we started looking up van life videos in on YouTube. And out of all the van lifers, cheap RV living is great. And out of all the van life videos that we've seen, the only people that stuck out to us was EarthMamaMedicine. V and Matt like spoke to our souls, and we saw a lot of ourselves in them. Granted, we didn't get the same van on purpose, but the universe willed it.
Matt and V are like the nicest people. I want to say we like found their YouTube channel, and within like a week we were already in the process of getting the van, talking to them. Super sweet people. Like it wasn't just like you're hitting somebody up on Instagram and like you're in a sea of DMs and they never respond. Like they actually spoke to us.
I sent Matt a
and
message and I was
motivated
just
us.
like, Senpai noticed me.
Super cool channel. Definitely check them out.
They're dope.
Super cool peeps.
So dope. Pregunta número
7.
8.
Yo, Dora the Explorer, where you at?
So this was an interesting one.
Question number 7. How y'all gonna have sex in that van? So I'm thinking kind of like...
Cassie,
Like...
stop it. Pregunta número...
8.
I love you.
How are you gonna play all those video games in the van? Sky?
Pete, Nintendo Switch, wireless, mobile gaming, see me in Pokemon, see me in Super Smash. As far as my World of Warcraft addiction goes, I have a laptop. Overwatch. Pregunta número
9. I had to count it in my head. 9! But, ... Where are you gonna shower? In the van? Obviously, no.
Nah. There's Planet Fitnesses all over the US, and some of them actually let you park in their parking lots. We're gonna be doing a lot of like the campsite thing. We're gonna be going to a lot of national parks. However, there are gonna be some times where we're just gonna have to camp out in a Walmart parking lot or a Planet Fitness parking lot. And the great thing about parking in a Planet Fitness parking lot is that you can wake up in the morning, go into Planet Fitness, brush your teeth, shower, wash your hair, get your drip going, smell real good, and
Do some squats.
well, probably go in and do some squats and then do everything that I just mentioned. The whole showering thing, that's a dead topic for us.
That's honestly the least of our worries.
You mean to tell me that you can't find a toilet driving around the states in your car?
There's so many toilets in this
Van life
world.
ain't for you if that's what you're worried about.
So many toilets.
Pregunta número 10.
Question number 10 is the final one, and it's actually a really good one. Where are we going first? This actually means a lot to me because my idea, this may change obviously in the next 4 or 5 months before we leave. I actually want to head up to Cape Cod in Providencetown to do some very important family business where I do have to spread the ashes of a very dear person to me that I've put off for a long time because with having jobs, not being able to take off time work, having rent to pay, I couldn't do any traveling like that.
It's been a long time coming. This is something that Cassie has been wanting to do and has had to do for a really long time. Life hasn't allowed her to do this. This was actually this person's one of their like final wishes. So we're gonna make sure that happens.
Right after that, adventure begins.
Are
We
gonna
have
go-
no plans.
No.
We don't know the first stop. We're just gonna pick a direction and go.
Are we gonna go out west? Are we gonna go to Canada? Are we gonna go to Mexico?
We'll see.
We didn't say goodbye.
We always forget to say goodbye.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for sending in those questions. It was actually really fun to answer all of them and kind of let you guys know us a little bit more. Yeah, if you guys actually have any more questions for us, please feel free to put them in the comments below.
Yeah, let us know. Fam.
Any suggestions anyone has, that if you know a little bit more about this stuff than we do, about like anything with our pets or just traveling suggestions in general, please feel free to put those in the comments as well.
Chances are you know more than we do.
Yeah, thanks again for watching, guys. Oh, hi there. I almost forgot to let you know that you should definitely subscribe and hit that little bell notification button right there. Maybe even give this video a like so that you can keep following our journey and see all of our new videos we're putting out.